I didn't press record last time, so let's really do this. You date men you're not attracted to, and you are in a pattern of accepting dates and going on dates with men you are actually not attracted to. Let's talk about why you're doing that and why it might be a problem. First, I'm going to start with one thing that might be a benefit, which is that when you date men you're not attracted to, you often are more relaxed because you don't care as much. Unfortunately, that means that you are practicing being yourself around men that you're not really feeling the same kind of intensity that you feel with attraction. So it might be good, we could say, for you to practice that way, noticing how you behave and who you are when you're really being yourself in dating. On the other hand, I don't know how much crossover that's gonna help you achieve when you actually talk to, go on dates with, and start getting to know men you're actually attracted to and would consider being in a relationship with seriously. We can talk about the reasons why you're dating this guy, and the first one I want to touch on is that you're hoping your feelings will change. And you are working under this assumption that feelings can grow or shift or develop over time as you get to know each other. And that's absolutely true. That definitely does happen. People who have been in platonic relationships fall in love. People who work together finally notice each other one day and do end up together, and these kinds of romances do develop. However, when you are dating someone you met online and you only know them in the context of dating, and you are dating them despite not being attracted to them, the kind of constriction that is going to exist in the relationship between the two of you makes it unlikely that you're going to develop those feelings. So those feelings really happen when both of you are very relaxed, when there's no pressure on the relationship, and there's kind of, a shift happening that leads to romance. So if you are very masterful at embodying romance and creating romance in yourself, this is absolutely possible to bring to a man who's going to reflect it back to you if he's capable of that too. However, when you feel this kind of constriction and the force, right? I need to force myself to be attracted to this man. It's highly unlikely that you'll actually develop that attraction. If you feel before you go on a date every single time with this man that you're not attracted to him, and you get that kind of like, what am I doing feeling, like, ooh, I'm not attracted to this guy, and a little bit of like, ooh, you're developing a dread association with him, which makes it less likely that you are going to develop yummy emotions about him later. So that's something to keep in mind. I want to also mention here that you can imagine the tables being turned. So if a man was dating you and continuing to date you without being attracted to you, how would that make you feel? And likely, if you are dating, and I assume you're dating, the client who requested this video is this gorgeous woman. I don't think she's claimed that fully yet, but she's a gorgeous woman, well-educated, well-traveled, and dating for a really incredible man. And I'm assuming if you're watching this video, that is true for you too. You really want to be dating a really amazing man who you are attracted to. And that kind of partnership takes you behaving as if you are in partnership. And behaving as if you're in partnership is having mutual respect. And mutual respect is difficult to have in place if you're dating someone without actually being attracted to them. So for your consideration, it's not a great practice for you as someone looking for an amazing relationship to continue to date men you're not attracted to, because it's out of integrity. And you want someone who has a lot of integrity. There's a misalignment there. The most significant reason why you are dating men you're not attracted to is because you are disconnected from your own desire, from what you really, really want. And this is very common for women. This is socialized into us. If you are a woman, you most likely grew up as a girl. And when you grow up as a girl, the things you like are talked about as being frivolous and kind of silly. So we can think of things like Taylor Swift, or pedicures, or lattes and brunch, romance novels. Really, anything that is feminine at this moment in history is kind of put on in this place that society can judge it. So as a woman, you have likely internalized some shame or some feelings of frivolity around your own desires, even if your desires are quite serious, like what you want in a life partner. And so it's not uncommon. It's actually highly, highly common to doubt yourself around what you want. On low level things, right? Like that's why we have this whole thing about like, what do women want for dinner? We don't know. And then also in terms of the higher level things, like with what do I want in a life partner? Like what am I attracted to and can I have it? Not only does that appear in society, it also can appear in your parenting. So maybe you had parents who didn't take your desires very seriously as a kid, and they didn't let you have what you want very often, or on the other hand, they may have even shamed you for what you wanted. Many of us get this as well because as kids, we often want things that aren't really realistic or that aren't very good for us. But on the other hand, sometimes we also have parents that kind of overdo it and are heavy on the shame in this case. That can lead, of course, to a lot of feelings of shutdown around our desires and inability to really claim it and go for it. Because of the messaging you got from society or from your parents, that you cannot just claim what you want and go get it. So you'll continue to date men you're not really attracted to because those are the things you don't really want. They're just kind of like the safe, practical choice, the thing you think you should want, the stuff that comes from the shame, right? It's with all the shoulds, like this is the kind of man you should be with. You should like this kind of man. So if there's any shame for you from society or from your family of origin, there can be unwillingness or hesitancy around fully claiming and going for what you want in a man that you're dating. Another big reason is you don't think you're worth what you want. So this comes back to the self-esteem stuff or the self-worth stuff. This is mother wound stuff. And that's why feminine energy practice is so powerful and so healing for women in relationships, because it's healing your worth stuff, right? The mother wound is about I am unworthy. That's the mother wound, is I'm not worthy to just be here. I'm not worthy to just have what I want because I am. You may have some kind of wounding around not being worthy of a hot man, like a man who's hot to you. Even if that doesn't mean conventionally attractive, you may deny yourself the pleasure of being with a man that you're attracted to because you don't really, really deeply believe you're worthy of that kind of love, of that kind of really passionate, hot, attracted love. And the way to tell whether you have that is if you tell yourself things like, that guy doesn't exist, or if he did exist, he wouldn't like me, right? So those kinds of thoughts in your head are really good red flags that you have that kind of wounding, that you don't believe that you are worthy of love you're attracted to. He's not real, and if he wasn't real, he wouldn't want me. Those are your signs. And the last thing I want to say, just as your dating coach, would be that you're wasting your energy. And that's what I would be most concerned about, because there are a ton of men out there that are very attractive, will be attractive to you, and that will also have the relationship skills to be your life partner. But if you are spending a lot of energy and time chatting to, entertaining, talking to these men, going on dates with these men, getting to know these men, maybe even over the course of weeks or months, you are spending a lot of your life energy, because it will put you in a whole headspace where you are having those thoughts about, wow, I'm not really attracted to him. Like, should I be dating this guy? All kinds of energy, like thought energy, and your brain is such a big organ. It is taking up a lot of your life energy to think about dating these men who are effort to date. And I promise you that when you meet the kind of ride or die love who's going to be your best friend, who's going to be this incredible partner in life and change your whole concept of love, it's not going to feel like you're pushing yourself to go on a date with that person. That's not what the vibe is. I've never heard anyone talk about that being the vibe of getting to know their life partner. Getting to know your life partner doesn't need to feel like the most exciting thing you've ever done, but it should feel quite natural. It should feel very easeful. Not necessarily effortless, but it should feel quite easeful. You should not feel like you're forcing yourself to just leave the house to go meet them. If you're still working with the self-worth piece, the feminine energy stuff can really help there. If you put your effort into talking to attractive men on online dating apps, out in public, when you go on dates, your whole feeling of romance will change. Like the way that you carry yourself and the way that you light up in romance will completely change. And that is the love life I want for you. So I hope that helps. Let me know if there's anything else you were wondering about, and I'll see you in the next video.